because what'd you say before that? Was we should have a...
we should do a roast.
We should do a roast. I mean, roasts are rough, man.
I had one for my birthday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. No, I still laugh about some.
Dude, so
I heard Allison the other day, and she was all... Yeah, when I first met Mike, was at Liberty Cafe, and I thought it was so nice that the people who own the place had hired a Down syndrome to work there.
Homeless.
Wait a minute.
I'm all, bitch, you mean me. And she did. It was funny.
Classic. Well, should we get this ball a rolling?
Oh, hey.
I recognize it.
Oh, yeah.
We can start talking about sweaty balls.
That wasn't what I was thinking.
You know that bit from SNL, the NPR people, and they got Alec Baldwin on there, and he's promoting his name is Sweaty, and he's got these donut holes.
Nice.
He calls them sweaty balls.
Yeah.
They're so funny.
Nice.
Keeping it classy. I said.
Well, speaking of bits, Todd, you let us know when it's time to go, and I'll get this little countdown clock.
I just played the music.
That's why I said, speaking of bits. So, hey, welcome everybody. It's Our Town Podcast.
Extraordinary.
Episode number 24, gentlemen, which is really 25. So I don't know what that means. I mean, we're like a quarter of a century into this thing. So, geez,
we should just say it's 25 because we did take a week off, but that's okay.
Oh. Well, I counted that one because we did a Worst of Us episode, and if you haven't seen it, go for
the worst of the best.
The worst of the best. That's the worst that we could do.
Honestly,
which I thought was well.
I forgot some.
Excellent.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I watched that 30-minute clip and it was like, man, I forgot I said half of that shit. Some of those things.
Todd.
Some of those things, like, why did I say that? Or wow, that was funny. I didn't realize, when I said it, how funny that shit was.
Well, we are Our Town Podcast, coming to you from beautiful, beautiful downtown Renton
at the Renton Civic Theater
in the old projection room.
Yeah, back in the projection room, which is our home away from home, unless we get the stage like we did last week with the mayor. That was
great.
Oh, man,
that was great.
That was fun.
What a nice young
enjoyed
man.
that. Yeah.
He was a nice dude,
and we got some good feedback from it, good and bad.
And he was much taller than the guy you had in the image of us,
the mayor of Townsville.
Yes.
Although I'd love to interview that guy too. So if we can make that happen. Today, the episode we're doing is the lies that we've been told our entire lives that aren't true. They've been lying to us this whole time. I know. And tonight's safe word for everybody, if you're feeling, pressure or whatever, is punctual. Punctual.
So you want people to be able to say that word for them to use it as a safe word.
That's
if they really mean it.
Punctual.
Mean it. You guys, there's a bunch of little lies that our parents and our grandparents probably told all of us sitting at this table, all of us about the same age, whilst we were growing up, that just simply weren't true. And those, I'll start us off with the first one I have here.
Is that what we're talking about?
Well, that's something you can work out.
I still think that number one is mostly true.
The eating sugar will make you hyper?
Yeah.
So that was always the thing, is you can't have candy before bed because it'll make you hyperactive and all that stuff. But sugar actually doesn't work that way in your body. You basically store that. It doesn't give you like extra energy, right? It just...
Well, I don't know about that. I know that that also might be caffeine more than sugar, but
yeah, caffeine certainly wake you up, right? Yeah. One that they always told you see in the movies and the TV shows is that you got a drunk person and start filling them with coffee, right? Because that'll sober them up,
to wake them up.
But it doesn't. It's just now you've got a wide awake drunk. Is basically what it is.
It's like,
they're still drunk.
Now he has
it's a nightmare.
Now he has to pee more. I gotta go pee again.
But which is probably good, the pee thing, because
Maybe that will evacuate all the alcohol.
Probably is a diuretic, right? Or is that one of the lies I've always been?
What's that?
Is the coffee is a diuretic? But
I
think
true.
it is.
Yeah, but that also means it's grabbing water more than just fluid.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to keep some of that water.
Yeah, probably so.
I don't know.
How about this one? That
Don't overdrink.
You don't overdrink. It's not good for you. It's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not fun, man.
No, really.
Oh,
Too much anything is too much. That's why they call it
If you guys
too
hear me
fucking much.
coughing, it's allergies and the pollens and stuff. I don't have the plague.
'Tis the season. How about this one? That if you swallow gum, it'll stay in your stomach.
I remember
for
hearing that as a
7
kid,
years.
thinking that can't be
That-
real.
Right at all. I mean, what's it
don't
doing
know.
in there for 7 years? You swallow enough of it, they'll start forming into a giant ball.
A
And take over.
consciousness. Yeah.
You just
We want freedom.
Release us. And you're like,
Quit
just
hanging
get
around,
out of
dude.
me.
Yeah.
think of all the gum
It's
that
a
you've
one-way
eaten in your
ticket.
entire life. You think at some point you'd just shoot out just a giant piece of gum
Yeah.
With a bubble.
Blow.
with a bubble.
God, if that bubble pops, it's not going to smell good. How about this
That's
one?
how you sink ships in the Bermuda Triangle. that giant methane bubble I've been talking about. Finally.
That
So
methane-
that's
Maybe.
solved.
So what you're saying is
true.
Godzilla was chewing gum.
It's the Kraken.
Yeah, the Kraken
giant
has a
Kraken.
chewing gum habit. And
it swallowed his gum and then eventually farted it out and just a giant
man, I feel
Hubba
way
bubba
better about
bubble.
Massive bubble. Yeah. What about not swimming for an hour after eating because you could die?
So
right?
that's not
Remember
a
that?
thing?
No, I heard it's not that you could die, you can get cramps.
You get cramps
Yeah.
and stuff, but
So
that's not what
true?
gives you cramps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, some of these, I'd love to see what do they call it? The entomology.
like where they began.
Where they began. Yeah.
And always the 7 years.
We should just
You
call
break a
this
mirror,
the-
7 years. It's like, what is the, 7 generations and 777. That's always interesting.
Yeah.
We should just call this the old wives' tale episode.
Oh, kind of.
No, these are the lies, man.
Yeah.
How about
But
this
they're
one?
like-
They're all
Did your
old
mom tell you
stitching
this
time.
that you
Old
were
wives' tales.
gonna get?
Oh yeah, when you
crack your knuckles, you're going to get arthritis.
Yeah, well.
has nothing to do with your joints. I mean, it does have something to do with your joints, but it doesn't have any.
Doesn't it like wear them down though?
No, there's a fluid in your joints
But
that
yeah,
makes that popping sound.
I thought
It
that
is?
because you're
Yeah.
doing that,
Did not know that.
you're causing it to age quicker.
Is it viscous? Is it a viscous liquid?
That's going to be the safe word for next week.
Viscous.
I need to make it more viscous.
I'm
I
glad
didn't know that was the. So it's kind of like a dolphin chatter, right? A dolphin sound effect is through the water, right? And
Oh, and
I didn't think about that.
Just so you know,
so
the
I have a
sound.
dolphin in my hand.
The sound effect you hear from from Flipper wasn't even a dolphin sound that came
that was more like
Well,
Popeye.
that's the lie we were told as a kid.
no that
Mike, that was more like Popeye.
that was a bird that made that
man.
sound.
Flipper is a lie.
Man, Flipper. Damn it. How about, did your mom tell you this one, that keeping your eyes crossed for too long, that they'll stay that way?
Yeah.
Right.
And, I mean, is that really a problem in our world? So much that a weird fake rumor had to get started from it?
Don't
'Cause
cross
people
your
were
eyes.
crossing their eyes for kicks and giggles. It's like, I'm okay with screen time now. 'Cause
Instead of
people
that,
were-
they should have been like, Dad's going to pop you across your ear if you keep making that face.
Yeah,
at
you
me,
make a
right?
face to me. Your dad's coming home eventually. So he said.
And the other one is being
Just
too
went out for a
close.
pack of smoke.
Being too close to the TV
Oh, yeah.
can make you go blind.
Yeah.
That's not true either.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the name of the
But,
damn bird is for that episode, for that thing I just talked about.
It's the giggity bird.
No, it's a bird I think from Africa or Australia that it's like this, and it's actually the sound that you hear in Flipper is just a bird making its normal sounds. It wasn't like it was a mimic or anything.
I thought it was Lloyd Bridges, stepping on a nail on the dock or something.
Oh, man. Was he in Flipper?
Wasn't he the dad
I
in
thought
Flipper?
he was in some other
I thought it was Lloyd Bridges.
Kookaburra. That's what it was
Oh,
called.
That was Kurt
Kookaburra.
Russell, right? No.
Oh, man, now you got me. It's been a million years.
I don't remember. Whatever.
What?
Stupid ads.
Oh, ads again. I was like,
Todd's watching TV.
we are in a working theater, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So I figured maybe we were picking up some outside noise as they prep for
Rent. Yep.
coming up in a couple
Coming
of
right up.
weeks.
Which will be interesting.
Yeah.
So, the stage is being crafted as we speak by Art Tech.
Nice.
Right, so it's because a whole cast is dancing and running around.
Yeah. And there's different like levels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's super. It's a lot.
This is
So
gonna
we're
be a
going to
good
assemble
production.
that thing Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Poor Todd's
I
dying.
think the show starts next
The
week.
9th,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
Rent.
Which is Thursday, yeah.
Rent.
Or is that? Ooh, that might be Friday.
Friday. I think they usually start on a Friday. I don't know. Whatever. How about this one? You see on TV and in movies all the time is don't wake up sleepwalkers, right?
Yeah.
It's not about not waking them up. You just want to be cautious around them because when they wake up, they will be disoriented, but it won't cause any
Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, they're not going to catch fire.
Awesome!
Why did you wake me?
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever experienced somebody
I
sleepwalking.
haven't either. I mean, I've gotten up pretty groggy to go take a leak and
Yeah.
stuff.
There's somebody on TikTok that has cameras all over their house, so they know that when they eat certain types of food, they will sleepwalk. So they would eat those things knowing they would cause them to sleepwalk. And
Do you know what kind of food it is?
I don't remember what it is. They've said
Candy before bed, dude.
no.
Mom
It was
right.
it was something like fucking.
Rocky Road ice cream.
It was
or
some
something.
type of specific type of food. I can't remember what it is in mac and cheese or some shit like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so she would wander through the house and have random conversations and bumping into shit and being all startled and still being asleep the whole
Just
time.
like on OnlyFans. They can tune in.
I haven't seen the video of theirs in a while. I may have accidentally unfollowed them because I unfollowed a bunch of people that didn't follow me back. So, but
We should, if you could put Legos around your house.
Oh,
right?
man.
Just to kind of wake
Landmine.
yourself up, right?
Legos or jacks.
Oh, jeez.
Jack.
Yeah, that's
Even Hot Wheel cars, man.
yeah, that's tough.
How about this one? This is another movie TV trope that you must wait 24 or 48 hours before reporting somebody missing. It's like when the person goes to the police station.
That's only the
I gotta
thing you see in
report."
movies and TV shows.
It's not. If somebody is in danger and you think they may be in danger, go report them missing right away. You don't have to wait 24 or 48 hours.
Can you, though? If
You
want?
can if you don't. If you don't really.
I
care.
mean, I was going to...
Maybe next week.
Yeah. I mean, once you start swooping down, it's like...
Yeah. One thing I always quoted that it turns out is not true is that was told.
I'm showing them video of the woman who does the sleepwalking on TikTok.
Crazy.
Oh, my God. That's pretty good TV, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus, the night vision stuff is always a little crazy.
she's got millions
What's
of
he doing
followers.
right there? What is that frozen...
She's digging for gold,
That's
man.
what I thought was happening right there. It's like,
She's got 27.1 million followers.
oh, my God.
I just watched the Rick and Morty episode where there's the night people, where Rick has this machine that he can turn on that makes you wake up in the middle of the night and do all the stuff that you don't want to do in your waking hours.
Oh, yeah.
And his was doing 1,000 crunches, so he had this massive 6-pack, and then everybody else
He has a
was doing the
14
same
pack.
thing. Yeah. But one of the things that I believed for a long time was that the only man-made structure you could actually see from space is the Great Wall of China.
Oh.
And it's not true. You can see just about anything depending on the level you are.
Oh,
you
sure.
are outside of the Earth's atmosphere, there's no real man-made, structure that you'd be able to see. But if you're low enough,
in some type of,
you can definitely see it. But that
like from the
atmosphere is only like 150 miles. Remember, so it's not.
But could they see it from the International Space Station or whatever?
No, I don't think so.
What if I dropped a penny from the
That'd just be rude. Yeah. I don't know about that. Gravity works in crazy ways, right?
I guess it depends on the system of forces going against that thing. Yeah. But it would, yeah.
I don't know. Let's test it.
Yeah, I'm going to call
this building in Renton.
I'm going to do a seance for Carl Sagan. Ask him. He'd be pissed. He's like, dude, I was sleeping. Like, fuck.
What's wrong with you?
Could have just Googled that shit, bro.
An app. Here's one that goes to say that history belongs to the victor, right? That Napoleon has always been taught that he's a short dude. He was a short dude, and it's not true. He was really just an average height guy, but because the British and the Prussians kind of kicked his ass, the story became that he was like this little dude, right? Small guy, but he was 5'7"-ish, which was average height for his time.
What was the average height for a British person at that point?
It's 5'7" was sort of the European standard, I guess.
Well, it's like, because people say the same thing about Stallone. He's tall. He's not tall. He's very short.
Yeah, he's probably Napoleon's actual height, right? He's like 5'7",
like 5'5", maybe 5'6".
Yeah.
Because I'm 5'10", and he walked past me, and his head was like right at my eye level.
Yeah. Another thing, bulls, when you do bullfighting, they are not enraged by the color red. In fact, they have a hard time seeing colors.
Well, don't most animals have like color blindness?
That's very progressive of them.
Yeah, exactly. But the red is for the dramatic effect for the crowd. For the crowd, and what do you call them? The bullfighter, the matador, to wave the thing around.
You know the real reason why they're so enraged? Because somebody has their nuts in a sling.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, and
literally,
little mini spears at them for a fucking hour.
They have their testicles in a bag that's pulled up.
Well, it was common for the time.
Pulled up between their legs, so it's being pulled on every time they move.
Yeah, and they become enraged in the thing mostly because they're getting stuck with the spears, and they're also because the matador is posed in an intimidating pose.
I think it's mostly because their balls are like being yanked out of their socket.
There's that too. So, but
if you had someone like going when your balls are being pulled out from their socket, you would be pissed too.
Yeah, I'd be pissed. Yeah. I want my foreskin back. God damn it. So bullfighting.
Yeah, where's the class action lawsuit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then lastly, kind of an easy one, vaccines do not cause autism.
Yeah, that should be number one on the damn list.
Well, we've got a lot more lies to talk about. But these were kind of the quick, easy ones to kind of.
That's actually one of my. That's one of my top fives.
Yeah, the only study that ever linked autism and vaccines was shown to have completely faulty data, and the lead scientist that sort of performed, and I don't have any citations for you, you look it up yourself, do the research, but he fudged a lot of the data. But it became sort of a thing, I think, when a bunch of Hollywood folks kind of jumped on board with the idea of...
what's her face? McCarthy. Jenny McCarthy. She was the one who was like, it causes autism. This is what happened to my son. This is why he's got autism, because he got that damn shot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, Jenny.
No, the only thing that didn't happen is he didn't get polio.
Yeah.
He's going to grow up to be a fully functional person with autism. So, yeah.
I don't know. So, I think all these programs need to be, and we can lead into the rest. Some of your fibs were like, government is out to help you. Yeah. Right, stuff like that. But there's so many times in the past when governments, period, and those who are powerful use circumstances kind of like that to do evil.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of times. So it's like, absolutely. I get people's skepticism. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah.
But skepticism is not the same as disbelief.
So
right, it's like we as beings need to use our ability to reason and be data driven.
Yeah.
Right, it's like in all aspects. But getting stuff done to your children is always scary.
It is,
right, and
yeah.
for all parents, they fall down and skin their knee, and you feel
the other
bad
one that
for 'em.
cracks
Like,
me up
so
is-
we don't want any kind of like weird shit to happen to our kids. We just
Right.
don't. So I see that overprotectiveness isn't inherently a negative.
No.
Right, but get your fucking shots. They work.
The one that cracks me up is like the doctors are here to help you. The doctors are here to make you make you better. No, the doctors are here to charge your insurance company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, most of them get
All
into
of the
it
above.
for the right reasons. But yeah, I mean, it is a money
And to
driven.
practice medicine, it is. But then that's the game, not the player, right?
Yeah, if they're really into it for helping people out, they wouldn't be driving fucking Lexuses and fucking
Maybe. I mean, maybe
and
not.
other luxury cars and Maseratis and shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are doctors that do Doctors Without Borders and people that work in, poor neighborhoods and provide free medical care. So there are some good.
Oh, yeah, but
doctors out there.
the vast majority of them are, I won't fix it until you pay for me to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But again, that's the game, right? That's not the.
it's like,
That's
or
not necessarily the.
we're working on a cure of X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, you're just banking all that money. I'm sorry. I kind of, maybe this is because I watched my mom wither and die from cancer, but no, I don't believe that they're actually working on a cure for cancer, for any kind of cancer for that matter. Because there's way too much money to be made off of people that are
Trading well,
perpetually.
I mean,
just constantly
yes,
like
there's other
getting
ways to keep
medications
people
for something that's
perpetually
never gonna make them actually live longer. It's just gonna postpone when they die.
I'm thoroughly convinced there are a lot of really good minds working towards cures for cancer. Does that mean all established, whatever?
No,
are doing
like you
so?
said,
Not
there's
necessarily,
the
but
Doctors Without
there's-
Borders and stuff. Those guys are doing the right thing, but I think there's a lot of them that are
doing quality
in for the money. They're not. They don't. They make sure they get paid before they do their thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one big lie that everybody that works, especially for a large corporation or a large company,
HR
should remember is that HR, human resources, they should not believe that they are there for the protection of the workers.
No, they're there for the protection of the company.
Yeah. Always going to do what's in the best interest of
If you don't have a union job, you don't have anybody looking out for you.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's better companies than other companies, and some bosses that are better than others, obviously. But a lot of the big companies we talk about this all the time is shareholder driven, right?
Yeah, no, short-term profit.
Short-term profit. Yeah. Another big kind of work lie is that if you work hard, keep your head down, you too will live the American dream, be rich and famous. Well, it's not true. Another portion of that lie is that if you ain't busy, you're lazy. Right? If you're not working all the time, you're lazy. Or that time is money, right? Sure. Time is money. And it's kind of that belief that you just grind and grind and grind and put up with all the shit.
It's right up there with if you're leaning, you could be cleaning.
Yeah. Yeah, the truth is that there's so much luck involved in hitting those opportunities to make it big, right? You could have a great idea for a product or a business or a service. If you can't find, funding to get started, if you can't find the right people to help you make it happen, if you, are just in a bad area, or let's say that a recession hits right after you open your business or something like that.
There's always circumstance,
of luck involved, if you want to call it luck or just,
Good circumstance, right? And most of it really is your zip code, right?
That's
and
true.
If your family has generational wealth and is able to provide generational wealth.
Yeah, that's a big boost, right?
Fucking A. No, I mean, that's very well documented.
Yeah.
I'm not making that up.
It's basically that hard work alone doesn't equate to wealth.
So hard work's its own.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You can't count on.
And
that's fine, right? And I mean, because we should be, and I'm going to paraphrase, Bhagavad Gita, but you do the act for the act, right? Because it's a singular moment in your life, right? So you have to participate fully because it's the only moment you have.
Yeah.
Right? That's just the fucking way it is. Doesn't matter how mundane or, in Bhagavad Gita, it's murderous, right? He has to go kill his cousin and chop up his relatives and shit, but just our day-to-day mundane nonsense that right now in my life I just view as really dumb and just dumb. And so we just all work until we die, right?
Yeah.
It's just dumb. It's dumb. And beneath us as a reasoning species, right? But I'm in it, right? Because I got people who depend on me to do so.
Well, just like what you're saying is just because you are sitting back and enjoying a little bit of life and not actually working, it doesn't mean that there's not value there, right? Because there is value in
the experience is the value. And then the value is the experience, right? It's like, come on. It's like, it's an astounding miracle that the trillions of cells that make our bodies function, let alone that this tiny rock that we're floating around on is even able to hold life.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, come on, stop it. It's nothing short of astounding.
Yeah.
Right? So, of course it has value.
Right.
Stop.
Yeah, because your time, especially at work and the things that you do to make money, is only a perceived value, right? So if you flip burgers for $12 an hour, right? That's it's only a perception of what the value is to sit there behind the grill and cook burgers, as opposed to being as Todd was saying, a doctor, right? Whatever they're doing, right? Or myself as a project manager, salesperson.
Actually, the minimum wage is $15 an hour.
I'm sorry. And I did go get a bag of dicks the other day, which was nice. I was up in
I prefer my dicks with cheese. How about you?
Well, I didn't have a burger. I just got fries because I don't eat beef.
I wasn't talking about burgers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Classic. Careful of that joke, Todd. It's an antique.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but it's true. Their shit is good.
No, I always tell people, like, eat a bag of dicks is not an insult in Seattle. It's a dinner invitation.
Yeah. And they're not my favorite burgers, but if it's there, I'm eating them, right? But
yeah, I mean,
but their fries really are on my top 3-4 fries on the planet, really.
Dick's cheeseburgers are my favorite gut bombs, period.
Are they really? Right on.
Yeah, they are my favorite gut bombs.
More than street tacos?
More than street tacos.
Jeez, hallelujah. Right on.
All right.
Yeah.
I could eat, once I start eating street tacos, I just
can't stop.
Fuck, dude, I have to run out of money.
I had friends tease me for years because anytime I went up to visit them up on Capitol Hill, I'd stop at Dick's and get a bag of cheeseburgers. I had like 6 or 7 burgers in this bag, and they're like, "Why did you buy so many burgers? Are you going to eat them all?" Not in one sitting, but I only get out here once in a while, so when I'm up here, I want to get myself some Dick's.
Yeah. Up on Capitol Hill, you get yourself some Dicks.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, speaking
burgers,
of,
too.
I rode by Pony the other day. Didn't go into Pony. I've never been in Pony, but and they blew up the block around. Pony has like
what is Pony?
It's a gay bar, mostly for dudes.
Okay.
And been there for mass, right? But there's so much construction on the hill right now.
Wait, they have mass at Pony's?
It's been there for a long time, and maybe they do. I don't know. But the roads are fucked
mass
up.
As in like church mass?
No, that's a term I use. It's a slang term for like a lot.
Mass amounts. Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, because you said mass, I'm like thinking.
Where up on the hill are they?
Right by Chop Suey and all that stuff.
Okay.
Just off of Maddie or whatever. Yeah. But it's fucked up. You couldn't get there unless you had a chopper drop you off. The road is fucked up on all sides. It's like, are they getting some kind of stipend for the city of Seattle destroying every possible way to get to their business?
Trying to shut them down.
At the same time. Fuck up one at a time.
Well, it's probably a good thing that Neighbors has you go into the back door, huh?
Oh, man. He's running with it.
He's on it.
Well, it's true. The door to Neighbors, which is a bar up on Capitol Hill, a gay bar, the entrance is in the back.
Well, there's a front door to Neighbors, too.
I think the last time I was at Neighbors was about 3 or 4 years ago.
Is it still? I don't even know if it's still around.
I don't know much. The last time I was there with a group of...
And I'm just not really into dance clubs. I really,
I went there with a group of derby girls, so I was basically there just to watch them all have fun with everybody. I didn't get out there and dance.
All right. Well, how about this one? We've all heard this term before. No pain, no gain.
Yeah, fuck that noise.
And when you're talking about it is in reference to life and not just working out, because I guess, working out, you do have to,
I guess break tissue.
I think that's kind of where it comes from, is working out.
But as far as work, in reference to that, it's sacrificing those long hours at work, grinding, paying your dues, pushing yourself in school, remembering that pain is so you should remember that pain is absolutely not necessary to achieve your goals. The pain and suffering is optional for you guys.
Sure.
Yeah,
because
take
again,
care of your mental health, folks.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just completely focused and you're doing 80-hour weeks, and I've done this before, you're just head down and pushing through, man. That's no kind of life, right?
No, sometimes that's what's required, but it's not sustainable.
Nah,
right? And I do, the older I get, I like to work harder, not smarter.
Yeah,
right. And that's in technique. That's in
that saying right there. The first time I ever heard that was on DuckTales back in the 90s. Work harder, or work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Oh, DuckTales.
Yeah.
Scrooge McDuck.
How about this one, especially for men, and I guess for women too, that emotions are bad. Right? That's the lie that we've been told. Especially always like, don't cry, suck it up, buttercup, that kind of stuff.
Why are you being such a bitch?
You're being a pussy, or you're being a baby.
The only acceptable male emotion is anger.
Right?
And potential violence was the only accepted one for a long time.
You can get a lot of power out of 1 inch, I know that.
Well, we're just kind of no longer needing of that, right? We don't live in as dangerous of a world. We still live in a fucking dangerous world, but not even in the scale that it had been for a long, long time. Right. So, it's becoming less and less necessary for us to be a violent being. Yeah. Right.
Well, at the end of the day, all of our feelings are innate, and they're not really either good or bad, right? They're just feelings. There's no bad feelings. There's no good feelings. We only judge them ourselves as so, or we judge others. But if Todd gets mad and, steam's coming out of his ears, we're judging that as good or bad or, whatever. He's just letting off steam, and it could be a good thing. It could be a bad. It's just an innate feeling that he's got that we should just allow to be.
I think the allowing is the key there, right? Yeah. Just like that for all of us, because that implies that we can allow ourselves that same grace. Yeah. Right? Because of course. And I think a lot of the times emotions are only bad when we tend to personalize things. Yeah. Right? Because we can struggle or we can suffer. Right. So suffering is the personalization of that struggle. Like the why me as opposed to just these are circumstances. Yeah. Right?
This happened.
Right? And because in the end it's just circumstances. Yeah. Right? Until we personalize it.
Yeah. And we do. I think we take in, especially in our society, is we take in all that stuff and we personalize it and we make it about us rather than, not being able to shrug it off, not so much shrug it off, but not be able to sort of process it. Right.
That makes it more difficult to process. Yeah. Because now there's a whole other dimension to it that's really a loaded dimension. Right.
Yeah. All right.
Well, and the older I get, the more I understand that A, time is fucking short. B, everybody's just doing what they can, man. We're all just
we're all in this together.
Just fucking it ain't easy, man. It's not. And no matter how mundane somebody's day-to-day may seem, it's a lot going on, man.
It is.
Right?
I don't think it's on here. I haven't read that far ahead, but I also think that just because they're family doesn't mean you don't have to like them.
No.
You don't have to be around them just because they're family. Like if your mental health is struggling because you're around certain individuals in your family, you don't have to be around them. You can.
That's true. You can make your own family.
Yeah.
Sure. Or none at all.
That's something that's something I've been struggling with for the past few years. It's just like, do I want to stay connected with these individuals in my family, or do I want to cut them loose and just be done with them altogether? Yeah. And I recently, in the last month and a half, I unblocked a bunch of them just because I wanted them to be able to see some of the stuff I'm posting publicly, because I know that they're going to be like checking in every once in a while to see what I'm up to and whatnot.
What's Todd doing?
What's he doing? Is he complaining about us? Kind of thing.
No, but that's part of that allowing, right? Because then you're allowing yourself to.
And like I said, I wanted them to see the things I'm posting, because these things I'm posting are for them to see, to kind of realize maybe they're not the ones who are the victim. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so my niece reached out, and we went and saw the new Little Mermaid this last weekend.
Right on.
And I hadn't talked to her in probably a year. So, and then after the movie was over, her mom, my sister, and I won't get into what happened with Heidi, but my sister did something that was really, really just like next level, like petty, like haha, fuck you, you can't do this anymore, I won't let you.
Like right after you went to the movies, or
no,
this is way back in the day?
This is in the last year.
Oh, power.
So, fuck it, I'll just say it. My sister has access to my mom's Facebook page. My mom died 15 years ago. Well, sometime last year, she was mad at me for whatever the reason was. I don't even know what it was. But she had blocked me from my mom's account. So on my mom's birthday, when I normally, hey, I tag my mom in something, happy birthday, Mom, I miss you. I couldn't tag her. So I searched for her account, couldn't find it. I logged out of my account and looked for it again without being logged in. It came right up. So I was blocked. So I blocked all that side of the family. I said, you know what, fuck these guys. They're going to do shit like that. I don't need them in my life, period. Yeah. And so after I saw that movie with my niece and her daughter, my grandniece, my sister texted me, hey, how'd you like the movie? I'm like, what the fuck do you want? That was my first thought, And I was like, yeah, it was good. It's been 30 years since the first one. So, all the trauma I had from having to endure my niece wanting to watch that thing on an endless loop is long over with. So I had fun watching it with her and her daughter. And then she started giving me all this stuff about how it was not her intention to have Mom's page blocked on her birthday. I was like, so you accidentally blocked me. You can't just accidentally block someone on Facebook. That's just not a thing. You have to dig into settings and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, no, that's not what I meant. And it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter what you meant. You fucking did it. You logged into Mom's account. You blocked me from being able to see her account for whatever reason. I don't care what it is. The fact that you did it is what pisses me off. Yeah. So, yeah, you don't have to stay connected with family, especially if they do shit like that.
Yeah, anybody. If you have a friend that's sort of toxic, if you have family that's toxic, if you got a shitty job with a shitty boss, there are other jobs out there.
I'm specifically talking about family, because you can cut people loose that are like just friends. That's fine. That's easier to do than it is to cut family loose.
Family too. Absolutely. All right. Well,
sorry, I didn't mean to derail it.
How was the mermaid movie?
You know what? It was really, really good. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna go see it again. I've already seen it twice. So, but yeah, it was
some of the same music and songs, or is it all new? Or?
There's a couple new ones. There's some ones you'll remember, and for the fans of the original movie, there are cameos of the original cast in the live action film.
Oh, that's nice.
Like the original mermaid, she plays a merchant in a scene, and then the guy who played Sebastian was like the ship's captain.
Is that guy still alive?
Yeah.
Is that the Under the Sea guy?
No, that's not the same guy.
Under the Sea.
Yeah, no,
I never saw the movie, but I remember
the guy who did the 7-Up commercials from the 70s or early 80s.
Yeah,
wasn't that's not the same guy, huh?
Yeah, he had kind of a. Yeah, who was that?
Yeah, he was. I think he was from.
Is that the lime and the coconut, or is it totally unrelated?
I don't know.
Yeah, put the lime and the
coconut. Yeah. Shake it all.
I just feel I put the two together, so I don't know if there's an.
I don't think so.
The Uncola.
No,
the Uncola. Geez.
He did a bunch of movies back in the 70s. But yeah, tall black dude.
And now ads are like Lockheed Martin, fucking, and pharmaceuticals and War Machine shit. It's like it used to be soda.
No, my favorite 7-Up commercial is the one with the dude from Mad TV. He's like, "Make 7-Up yours," and it says "Up yours" on the back, and it says 7 on the front.
Was that recent?
No, that was back in the 90s when 7-Up split from Pepsi. And that was their like go fuck yourself with your Sierra Mist.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Coke.
Don't anger me. Coke Clear, just weird shit that came out of corporate boardrooms.
Pepsi Crystal.
Crystal Pepsi,
Yeah. I don't know.
Like that. Jolt.
You know what's funny?
I can't believe that stuff is just, I mean, obviously soda's huge.
Yeah.
Right, but it surprises me every time.
My roommate actually still has a bottle of clear Pepsi.
Nah.
Wow.
Unopened
What's it going to turn into?
An unopened
Release
bottle.
me. Release me. Oh, speaking of, I watched 3,000 Years of Longing.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
the
was
George
that?
Miller film. It's a film by the guy who does Mad Max movies. But it's the opposite of a Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
It's got Tilda Swinton
and Tilda. Yeah, no, I thought it was cool.
Nice.
So
But it's not at all an action film at all.
Okay.
So I went ahead and purchased John Wick for it because it was only like $4 cheaper than, or $4 more to buy than versus renting it. So I had to watch 3 last night because I wanted to kind of have like what's going on, because I only watched the first movie, maybe half of the second one, and it's just a continuation. It's
a whole lot of death,
dude. These 4 movies take place in the span of like 3 weeks.
Sure. Yeah.
Somebody did a body count at one point on all 3 of the first 3, and it was like several.
Rambo plus.
Yeah.
And the thing that cracked me up is yesterday I saw this thing that said it was basically a vote, heart for this or thumbs up for that, and it was John Wick versus James Bond. And I didn't look at the numbers to see who got more, but I would imagine Bond probably won that one.
Well, only because Bond's been
been around longer. He's got 26 movies.
Yeah.
None of which I've liked.
Killing each one.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
5 or 6?
He doesn't kill
always
nearly as
bad
many
guys.
as John Wick. I think John Wick has a higher.
They're always all bad guys too. He's the anti-hero protagonist, right?
John
but it's
Wick
not like
is killing people because someone stole his car and killed his puppy.
Yeah.
Right after his wife died from cancer.
Fuck with my dogs and you.
Yeah, no, I'd go bonkers.
Seriously, can you imagine?
But is it going to end up a killing spree of like 9 million?
Can you imagine though?
Everybody.
John Wick 23.
You're a retired hitman and your wife just died of breast cancer, and then some dickhead tries to buy your car from you at a gas station and then kills your dog in the process. Yeah, I think I would go just a tiny bit mental over that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I enjoy those movies, and he does a lot of firearms training.
I would, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a crossover with Jason Bourne, man. I want to see John Wick and Jason Bourne go to town on some bad guys.
Because in the end, Wick is a criminal. Remember, like Jason Bourne, I guess. Sure, he
was
kills
like
a lot
a
of people.
hired killer.
Yeah. I mean, Bourne's operative, right?
Bourne
so it's like
is
they're the good guys.
Government operative. Yeah.
Bond had a license to kill.
Yeah.
So.
Bond was the British equivalent of a CIA operative.
Right.
So, MI6 and all that.
Yeah.
Or back then it was probably
League of
MI4.
Extraordinary Gentlemen did a mean twist on 007. They really did. Because Alan Moore just can't leave well enough alone. There's nothing he can't look at that he can't make like a little ugly. Because he's really good.
Do you think they'll ever redo that movie, The League of Extraordinary
I don't know. I'd sure like it if they did.
Because I didn't hate that movie, but a lot of people really didn't like it.
It wasn't what it could have been. Right?
Yeah, because apparently it was nothing like the comics.
The books are fantastic. And he's done a 70-year stretch of them. It's really pretty good.
Wow. I enjoyed it. So, anyways, back to the story.
All right.
Or the
lies. You dirty liars. Speaking of politics, which we weren't.
Nice.
The lie is that politicians care about the plight of everyday
but what
people.
about enough to keep them from being guillotined?
Yeah.
Right? And most of that's self-preservation.
They care enough to keep themselves in office.
Yeah, I would say that, a lot of them go in with good intentions. I'm going to get in there, I'm going to do some good, and I'm going to, but then they get sort of tied, especially on the national level. You get tied up
bogged
in the
down,
politics of it, and then getting reelected, right? Because it is a good gig.
Yeah, but the game is spoiled in that it takes non-public funding to win the job and then to keep the job. We got to take money, anything but public money's out of it. Right, because we just can't afford to not have better control of democracy in general.
Right.
But overall, I mean, that's why we need strong, regulated institutions so that we're not so dependent based upon the rule of law. Right?
Right.
Then
Yeah.
you're not dependent upon any individual generation, any individual person, any individual ideal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These institutions that are, have plenty of watchdogs upon them are able to sustain that shit, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because people get corrupted or scared or fucking
I like this next one. Being religious makes you a
Dianne
good person.
Feinstein. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we jump off of government, though, that government really does have our best interest at heart, too, right? That they want the best for us.
Yeah.
That's the lie, right? 'Cause
Yes.
Yeah.
the truth is the government really doesn't have any kind of collective goal, and that we, the people, are all just cogs in a poorly communicating bureaucity,
Right.
and that we are pretty much complacent, as at least in this country, as Americans, with the status quo, and they can barely keep the fucking lights on, right? I mean, they're arguing right now whether or not to extend the debt limit.
Being held hostage by like nine
members.
ding-dongs.
Yeah.
9 absolute ding-dongs.
Absolute ding-dongs.
Yeah. Who are the opposite of statesmen.
Yeah.
Right? Or statespeople.
I heard Marjorie Taylor Greene say today that she wanted more. She wanted XYZ, but she also, for the icing on the cake, she said, this is like a shit sandwich, and she wants sides to go with that shit sandwich
It's
so
just
she
so
can pass it.
Yeah.
And as a dessert, she wants an impeachment. She doesn't care who it is. She would prefer Joe Biden, but she'll take like the Homeland Security chief, as an impeachment. It's like, are you fucking really?
But because they don't really have any desire to do good, right? They win by proving the government can't serve the people, that a democratically elected government fails the people.
Right.
That's the trumpet call for these right-wing pieces of shit.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, and
That's the
it
power
simply
grab.
isn't so. Because if you will even casually glance at history, people, it's like things are so much better now. Progress is good.
Yeah.
Right? It's a blanket fucking simplified statement.
Yeah.
No fucking doy.
Right.
Stop it. Get off that stupid bandwagon and empower the watchdog agencies to make sure our democracy is better all the time. But don't be so naive to think that throwing the baby with the bathwater is going to bring you anywhere better than you are today.
Exactly.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Exactly. Todd kind of let the cat out of the bag on the next one,
I'm
which
sorry,
is fine.
I
No,
saw
you're
that.
jumping
Like,
ahead.
man, I want to
This
talk
is a
about
good
Fucking
one.
bags. That's what I want to know.
I want to talk about that one.
Yeah, being religious. The lie is that being religious automatically makes you a good person.
No, it doesn't.
It absolutely does not. Because just like politics, religion can corrupt anybody, right?
Sure.
And it doesn't matter what religion you're talking about, unless you're talking
Religion
about
in general is just it's
it is
designed to control the masses.
Maybe not. Right? It's like
There's no
I think
maybe
it's
about
been-
it. That's exactly what it is.
Well, really, Todd? Every single religion, everywhere, throughout all time? That's what it's designed to do? Really?
I think most of them, yeah.
Oh, well, I think that's way overstated.
Well, I think what Todd's trying to probably say is like your big ones, like Buddhism, Catholicism, Sony, RCA.
But that's what they become,
Motorola.
right? That's after
just
1,000
saying,
years of devolution, right? But we just can't afford to say that people who've experienced
let's put it this way then.
epiphanies or whatever are incorrect or liars or whatever else.
Let's put it this way: which religion is the one that doesn't say we're right, you're wrong?
Well, I would think, true,
I think it's
like,
the practitioners, right, that we're kind of looking at here.
But I'm just saying that in most religion, that's what they'll say, is that we're right, you're wrong. If you don't believe what I believe, you're going to hell, or whatever their equivalent is.
Sure.
You know, I don't know of any religion that doesn't, except for maybe earth-based religions. They don't fucking care if you believe what they believe. Just leave them alone. That's kind of how they feel.
Yeah. But again, I think that's the practitioner, right? So there's a practitioner who just believes what they believe and doesn't care what other people believe because their faith is strong.
But then you don't see the higher ups in those churches saying, you know, you shouldn't say this or you shouldn't do that because, you know. But then there's also the churches that were like, well, if you have this lifestyle, you're evil, or if you believe this, you're evil.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, those kind of control tactics are not exclusive to religions, right?
No,
it's
but
like,
that the
by
religion
that's
is the one that has been doing it longer than anybody else.
Defending fucking religions, but I even less than power structures. I don't like oversimplifications because I just like to oversimplify the amount. I dislike oversimplifications.
Sure,
and it's like 80% of humanity, right? Remember in Contact when Jodie Foster's getting a spanking by Matthew McConaughey, and he's like, well, it's 90% of humanity believes in a higher power. Right? It's like, sure, science is the new smart kid on the block, but it's also the new kid on the block, right? It's like, can we throw all of that out? All of that human experience, all of that tradition, all of it. That just gets thrown out because it's irrational? Really? There's no value in it?
Yeah,
I'm kind of playing devil's advocate.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, well.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
because you know,
to Mike's point, I think is he's talking about there's some small, you know, religion groups, right? You may be thinking of like, you know, Native American tribes who have their belief system, right? But they're not
sex culture. What I think.
Well, I'm just saying that the big ones out there are the ones who are like, we're right, you're wrong, and you know, we're going to go to heaven and you're not.
Sure, but I think that also, just like with you know,
but that's just not just the people, dude. That's the people in charge of those groups as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that type of attitude and structure is what brings them to the top three.
Yeah, I mean,
right? And
Catholicism and like the big mega churches, they're all, to me, they're all the fucking same. They're all.
But I mean, the way they got there is different, right? Catholicism had 1,000 years of expansion.
Well, I mean,
right?
Catholicism has a way bigger bank account than the mega churches do. The mega churches have millions of dollars, but the Catholic Church has billions of dollars.
Sure.
With a B.
I don't know. I just think we rob ourselves when we throw all of that out the window. We do. Because the human experience we just talked about at the beginning of the show, the human experience.
The human experience has zero to do with religion, as far as I'm concerned. I can do a lot of things in life and has nothing to do with religion. Me being a good person has nothing to do with whether or not I believe in a sky daddy. Okay?
Yeah, I think what Mike's saying, though, is that's tradition for tons of people from 10,000 years of living.
Well, that doesn't make it any less wrong. you know?
I don't know. But I find it to be just taking from our collective whole if we throw out 90% of the population's belief system.
But are you
right? It's like,
okay? So you're okay with people that believe that a preteen got impregnated by a ghost, and then
am I okay with somebody having that belief? Of course I am, Todd. Why wouldn't I be?
I mean,
how can I tell them that what they believe?
I don't care what they
wrong.
believe, but what I'm saying is, don't make me have to believe it because you believe it.
Those are two separate things altogether.
That's what I'm talking about, though. Yeah. Those churches are the ones who are like, you're wrong, we're right, and if you don't believe us in what we're saying, then you're going to hell, and we're going to make laws to make sure that happens.
Yeah, and legislation is a completely different subject too, man. So I'm not pro-American Taliban by any means. I think you know that about me.
Yeah.
So I'm not pro-fucking any Taliban.
In general, I'm not a fan of religion.
But I just think that humans need to celebrate the vast differences in the human experience.
You can do a lot of that stuff without religion, though, is kind of what I'm getting at. A lot of people are like, well, if you don't have religion, what's to stop you from, killing people? It's like, I do. I don't want to kill people. That has nothing to do with...
That's been well argued formally.
I think Ricky Gervais had the best response to that question. I think if you've not seen the video, Google it. It's really good. But
sure.
But yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to I don't mean to like come at you or anything, but it's just that's just how I feel about it. I'm definitely not a religious person.
We need to define terms.
I'm not going to be defending them in any way, shape, or form.
Not even their right to believe the way they want to believe as an American.
I mean, they can believe whatever they want, but I'm not going to sit there and say, well, this is okay, this is not okay. Just as long as it's not if it's not impeding me, then fuck, I don't care what you do. My biggest issue with most religious groups and people are their need to convert other people. And I don't like that. I think that, if someone wants to join your church, they're going to seek it out. Don't come to my house with your pamphlets and shit. If I want to see your church, I'll come to your church. I don't appreciate that. In fact, the last time it happened, these guys came to the house and they wanted to talk, and I wasn't interested in talking, and they said, well, can I use your restroom before I go? Yeah, go ahead, no problem. And they left a pamphlet in my bathroom.
That's a hard sell.
Clever marketing. Because they know when you take a shit the next time, you're fuck, I forgot my phone. Oh, I guess
I'll have to.
No. I tore it up after I called them and told them never to come back.
Yeah, I mean, religion is can be a touchy subject. But I mean, back to the main lie is that, just because you subscribe to something, just because you go to confession and alleviate you're not a good person just because you have a belief system that says you're a good person.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yeah. And the best you could be is a good, XXOO, whatever,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If my religious tenets state that I must do this to be pious or whatever.
Yeah.
Actions speak louder than words is basically what I was trying to get at. I was like,
Sure.
Be religious all you want, as long as you are actively being a good person versus saying you're a good person and putting up the false front that you're doing good things.
Yeah.
And behind closed doors, you're just
you wear it on your sleeve, but
garbage
behind
person.
Doors, you're a douchebag.
Yeah, well, nobody likes that.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's not a bold stance to take. I don't like hypocrites. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, how about this one, guys? That diamonds are valuable.
Wait, they're not?
Well, I mean, they are because the market has set a price for them, because we were convinced that they have this value.
They're shiny.
But, I mean, we put diamonds on drills and saws, right?
Because they're strong.
Too. Right, exactly. They do have value, but it was De Beers. They were sort of the diamond magnets, the leading diamond magnets back in the 20s and 30s and 40s, and they actually came up with this idea that diamonds are forever. They came up with that slogan.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Exactly, and convince people that they should get diamonds for weddings, and that was
you should spend.
I heard it goes to all the extra money goes to wages for the miners.
So wait, wasn't there a thing when you go to buy a diamond for your fiance, it has to be like 3 paychecks or some shit like that?
There is that. Yeah, I mean, there's bullshit like that they've sold
that
us.
Sounds like Fifth Avenue marketing.
Right? Spend the majority of your money on this one piece of thing that your wife is going to wear all the time.
Yeah.
Never
not
mind
something you made, not something that you grew, not something that you created.
Not
weird shit dug out of the ground.
Don't put it towards like maybe a house or food or a car.
Yeah. Put your kids through college.
Put your kids through college if you don't have them yet. Yeah. But I don't know.
I knew a sailor who, as a defense of being robbed, like in a port city, because that does happen, they strip you down to your fucking nothing.
Get shanghaied and shit.
Because it does happen. Shit. So he had some precious gems implanted under his skin. So that if he got robbed down to the nothing, but was still alive somehow, he could take them out and at least get the fuck back on his boat. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just subdermally.
Yeah. Yeah, some
pretty fucking hardcore. Man.
It's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
But, he was a long time sailor.
Huh.
He was a cool.
How long were they in there?
That's a good question.
Just for for that one sailing?
No. A number of years.
Oh wow, man, that's That's crazy.
Yeah. I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah. Well, and you can get through metal detectors.
I don't have the money to get the
get started.
to get the
I mean, I can
jewels
open
to put
myself
under my
up.
skin. Yeah. Just put some tin foil in there so that I could some copper tubing.
Something that'll go through the metal detectors without any.
Oh, man.
Without any. Man, that is pretty. Yeah, that's hardcore, dude.
So I guess value of that type is always relative anyway.
Yeah.
Right. But the kids digging diamonds for rich people 8,000 miles away. And
like blood diamonds and shit.
It just annoys the fuck out of me. It's like, it's just dumb.
Yeah. I heard you can get like the lab-grown ones now, right?
No, sure.
Kind of becoming
a thing.
And that's
typically the industrial ones, like at the end of a drill. That's what those.
That's what the lab-grown ones. Yeah, I've heard like Radio Shaneco here locally talk about the lab-grown diamonds, which you can't tell the difference, obviously.
No.
So, isn't the Shane Company the company back in I think the 80s and 90s that wanted you to give your mom a pearl necklace?
Oh my God, I don't know. Keep the friend in the diamond business, guys.
Seriously, don't you guys don't remember that commercial?
Well, he's the guy that went to Antwerp every year.
Maybe it's a Mandela thing. I don't know, but I remember a commercial. They got
8 dudes who show up, and they're all kind of fucked up.
Give your mom a pearl necklace for Mother's Day, and I just remember thinking, before I knew what a pearl necklace,
baby boy.
Before I knew what a pearl necklace was, I was like, that sounds sweet. And then I find out what that was like. Oh my God! All those years of that commercial being on the radio.
Is that why they have
having a tough time with humans? Stepmom porn or whatever. So humans are a flawed fucking species. I'm sorry for the news
Isn't
flash.
that called like an Oedipus or Oedipus complex or whatever?
Yeah, Oedipus. Yeah,
Oedipus.
It ends with everybody dead.
Yeah.
So I don't know, they all are.
They all die. Yeah.
Have a thing about stepmoms and.
Yeah, spoiler.
Jesus.
It's only been like 4,000 years.
Oedipus Rex, it's a downer. It's like, it's not even a musical like Rent. Because Rent's a fucking downer, let's be honest.
But maybe we should do an Oedipus Rex spoiler or musical. We could do one, right?
Man,
mommy.
I never understood that, but I had a friend who was kind of into that, but I think that had to do more with the fact that his mom was a lesbian and had girlfriends and whatnot, and stepmoms were different for him than.
Oh, yeah.
Unobtainium, man. Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.
And I just remember back when I was a kid, moms were old as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like nowadays, moms are super.
It was rare to have a hot mom. Right.
Back in the day.
My neighborhood.
A good example is Aunt May from Spider-Man. If you go back and look at
the times they are changing.
Well, not just the old Aunt May from like the 80s cartoons and stuff. She looked like she was in her 90s or 80s.
And I mean, was she 50? Right? Maybe.
I don't think
50-year-olds back in the day looked old as fuck. They did. I was thinking about Miss Schumacher, my third grade teacher today. Because I know a lot of teachers, right? And they're like regular fucking people. But Miss Schumacher, and it was a while back, right? But she looked old, and she was mean, but she just looked old, tiny.
Have to break out the yearbooks and go back and be like.
But I was sitting there thinking, it's like
Little House on the Prairie looking bitch.
The Spider-Man cartoon from the 80s, she looked like she was 85 or something, and the ones from like in the last 20 years have all been in their 60s, and she looks.
How old is Marissa Tomei? How old is she?
She's in her mid 50s, I think.
Yeah, no, she's doing just fine.
No, she's
always been a very attractive young lady.
Yeah, Oscar award winning.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I think the first time I was like, was My Cousin Vinny.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I like her.
She was in that, what was it, Untamed Hearts with Christian Slater.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that, where he he had a heart issue and they were in Minnesota. And
what?
Yeah, they lived in Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. I couldn't understand.
That was his, Midwest.
Do people say it like that or just
know.
you?
Well, he does. Yeah. Now everybody will. Because that's the power of our
I'm looking at you, Wisconsin.
Minnesota is what I heard. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Minnesota.
Yeah. Huh.
Minnesota.
People don't say it that way. Even people from Minnesota don't say it that way.
I'm trying to do like a Fargo.
Minnetonka.
Minnetonka.
You sound like you are having a stroke, Chuck.
Winnebago.
Mike, you might want to check on him, make sure he's not having a stroke over there.
Yeah, what are the signs? Did he smell toast? Is there a toast fragrance?
No, it just smells like desperation.
I know, what a way to fuck up toast.
It's like, I mean,
Desperation.
you were trying to do a Midwestern accent. Is that what that was?
Well, that was specifically Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been.
That sounds like a terrible Irish accent is what it sounds like.
Yeah, people love that town.
Oh, yeah.
Minneapolis, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got a friend that
sure
just
you
moved there.
betcha.
That's what I was trying to do.
That's not at all
exactly what I was
Was that
doing.
Boston?
No, I was doing
the
Ballard.
car.
I was doing Ballard.
Yard in the car.
And get I forgot my khakis and my khakis.
Oh, all right. Diamonds are forever.
Yeah, maybe I'm just pissy about it because I got no money.
Yeah, I understand.
But
now.
speaking of money, subscribe to our shit, people.
No,
Come on now, send us $1.
Yeah.
What the fuck, it ain't going to kill you.
nothing.
Come on now.
if you're
It'll make us feel a lot better. It's a lot of self-esteem you can buy with that $1.
It doesn't cost much.
Just go to
Think of the children.
go to r-podcast.com.
Yeah, we even, I mean, that hyphen isn't free. You know what I mean? We got to pay for that fucking hyphen, people.
That's right. All right, so how about this lie that farmers control food prices?
Oh, yeah, no.
You heard this?
Yeah, the rich
Not at
farmers.
all.
Yeah.
Mega rich farmers.
Oh, man.
The corporate farmers and
I don't think they're
the
not
distributors do.
Well, they've all consolidated into giant companies that get mass.
But they have millions of dollars worth of farming equipment, so they're not starving.
No, and a lot of that is just a debt machine.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, is it? Okay.
No.
Because you see these guys driving those big ass trucks, and they have all those $1 million farming
That's called
equipment.
subsidies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But
you get, I mean, every business in America gets that. It's not, and I'm not going to point to.
Why can't we get that shit?
Well, if you know how to work a business license, you can get all sorts of good shit. I just choose not to.
Should maybe we get like an LLC or whatever they fucking call those things?
Maybe. Yeah, did you apply for the PPP stuff or anything like that?
For our town?
No. Yeah, we had to lay off our whole team. There was like 70 people worked here.
This is what you got left. No, I think the company I work for, my day job, did some PPP stuff, but I wasn't involved in any of that. So.
Oh, from getting the COVID stuff. Yeah, we should get some of that, right?
Yeah, we should
totally get some of that.
Trade in for some of that. How about that pharmaceutical companies are just trying to help people?
Yeah, we kind of talked about that already.
A little bit. I mean, they're basically trying to, and they do invest, a lot of time and money, but
development,
holy shit,
not
they
as
get
much as
paid.
universities do when they get paid.
Yeah,
And
so
they're very
majority of the money
controlling
that
their
goes into these
technologies,
things go directly to the pockets of the people who run those companies.
We got to change the structure of the game, right? The entire corporate structure is what needs to be changed.
Or maybe just become part of it so we can also be mega rich too.
Well, I just don't think it's a sustainable model. The super short-term profit-driven model of the Wall Street today, not alone, but corporate. The planetary corporate attitude of 90-day profit streams is not fucking sustainable. We have to find something different.
Like the guy who bought the diabetes medication that went from $35 a thing to
the world's most hated kid for a minute there, Skrelly or whatever.
I don't know.
He was going to piss off Wu-Tang and shit. It's like, man,
what the hell, dude?
Oh my god, if Wu-Tang,
he had to give that shit up, didn't he?
I think the government made him change that or some shit.
He ended up having to do.
He did time
or something, or came real close anyway. But it's like
he got rich real fast.
Him and the chick from
he got blasted. No, she's doing time.
She's doing like 11 years.
Yeah. She even got pregnant, thinking it would help.
I mean, I would too.
And I don't think she's going to clang. You know what I mean?
It's country club. She's not going to be free, but
Yeah, no, she's not going to.
It's not going to be
beat up and stabbed and shit.
Yeah.
No, which is, I mean, it's a financial crime. But she's also rich. That's the
country club shit.
Yeah. Because there's plenty of poor people who do financial crimes and they end up going to actual prison.
Yeah, fucking Rikers or something, right?
It's rough,
Yeah. How about this one? Studies say so it must be true, right?
Depends on the study, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like anything else. It's like bad science is, garbage in, garbage out. But if it's quality in,
but
then
just
you get a predictable outcome.
Taking any report and saying, well, we had a study done on this, right?
Sure.
Well, I mean, look at this.
Of all the people we asked, or
Sure.
my favorite is ancient alien theorists believe that.
Nice. Yeah. 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed.
I was just going to say 4 out of 5. What's up with the other dentist?
He loves
Why did he didn't? Why was it? What was it about it he didn't like?
He didn't like NutraSweet or whatever it was at the time. Sweet and Low.
Sweet and Low.
Yeah.
All that.
I wish Mike would find a midway point between him and the microphone.
Oh, sorry.
Because either he's really close or he's really far away.
Yeah.
When he's making a point, he needs to be right.
He's like he's doing a very loud impression of ASMR.
Hey,
Sorry,
baby.
folks.
I was stretching my back right there.
I'm just giving you shit, Mike.
But the truth is, I mean, and we've said this before, is don't believe everything you read, watch, hear, etc. Remember, if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
Also, doing your own research does not mean go watch 3 videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you got to look at different sources and different types of sources.
Sources
right?
that aren't YouTube or
you
Wikipedia.
You can't be like, watch a YouTube video that's regurgitating somebody else's YouTube video, which regurgitated somebody
a TikTok video.
Yeah, but that's not actual research, right? That's kind of the difference.
But that's what
we need to be
consider
reasonable
research,
beings, right? We have reason, right? It's like, just exercise your reason. I don't know how to say it. It's like, fuck. And we all want to believe shit, and belief is okay, right?
Right.
But it's kind of wasted if it's not a belief in something quality and worthy of that.
It's the equivalent of reading an article on Wikipedia that has no citations.
Yeah.
On what?
Wikipedia.
Oh, Wikipedia. Yeah.
Yeah, because they always say need citation for proof or whatever, and and it's like, well, who's going to do that? Because the person who posted it clearly didn't have any citations.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, just like anything else, it's like skepticism's great.
Yeah.
It really is.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah, and it's necessary in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's good. And I don't know. And the older I get, the more I like being the dumb guy in the room, right? So that I recognize that learning is always.
Sure.
Always. And everybody has something that they are contributing.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I don't necessarily have to equate every single bit of information that comes into my head. They're not all the same, right? But I won't know that till it gets here.
So check this
I'm
out.
not going to discount anything until it gets here.
I found the video of what I was talking about earlier about the woman who was like a government person talking about flat Earth. I want to play this for you guys. It's really funny. You hear me kind of like talking over it because it's a reaction video. All right, come on.
Elected district chair for the Republican Party in Georgia.
I'm not a scientist because that is a made-up job, but I know that the Earth is flat, okay? Because if the Earth was round, why would maps be flat?
No.
And you never answer that, okay? People want to be like, well, if the Earth is flat, then what about night and day? I don't know. Let me think about it. Maybe because the Earth is double-sided, and God flips us over when it's time for us to go to bed, and flips us back over when it's time for us to wake up, like I do with my husband. Like, use your brain.
Right?
Use your head for a minute. If the Earth was round like a globe, everything would be falling off of it. All the oceans will be dripping down it like ice cream, okay? Unless the Earth is a deep, deep blizzard.
I want some ice cream.
I don't know.
I kinda want
is that
ice cream,
comedy or is that real?
I can't tell, and the original
I
video
hope
got
that's
removed,
comedy,
so I
yeah.
can't play the video
Right
without
now
me
in
groaning.
Florida, there's a
Derp.
there is a woman that's on a school board, and she's trying to get Amanda Gorman her book of poetry. I think it's Amanda Gorman, the gal that did the poetry reciting at
sure. Yeah,
inauguration.
yeah.
Wonderful young lady, just smart as a whip, and just beautiful poetry. But she's trying to get her book removed from the school libraries, at least push it up to like middle school, then not for elementary. But there's nothing in there that anybody
How
should
many
be
elementary
worried about.
kids are reading some fucking poetry anyway, bro? Really?
Well, and if they are, fuck, more power.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
them,
Are we
right?
mad about that?
Yeah, why
But
would
what
you
was
be
the
mad?
reasoning behind boosting?
Oh, I think it's because it's
She's
the
a black
woke
woman.
agenda,
Yeah.
right? It's a black woman, but the woman has admitted that she's not a reader, and that she doesn't know what the contents of the book are.
Well,
and it's like, why
Wait a minute.
But I want to
She
take
hasn't
any
read the
potential
book.
I
away
wanna
from
get rid
somebody
of it.
else.
Yeah.
No, it's
bonkers.
bonkers. See, that's American Taliban nonsense right there. But overall, and I obviously, this is
Al-Qaeda.
my own belief, is that they're just a bunch of racist pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, because, once somebody said that woke to them meant anti-white, it totally fucking clicked in my brain. So that's the new pushback, because it's the easiest. Right?
Yeah.
Racism is always the easiest ism as a divisionary tactic.
Right.
Right. It's because somebody looks a little fucking different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so easy. And so, of course, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I was trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, but no, obviously, that's what it is. And it's really disappointing and annoying. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I don't know if I've ever said it on a podcast, but I think being willfully stupid should be painful, like brain freeze. I think that as soon as you say something stupid, your brain just starts hurting from
Literally hurt.
sucking down a Slurpee.
Oh, my God. That's a great idea.
That's some kind of injectable, like Mike's
Just like
gemstones in your just
have like a Bluetooth enabled thing. Whenever someone says something stupid, you hit the button. It goes ow.
Oh, but then
Yeah, I mean,
who gets to
push the
I mean,
button,
I'm
right?
okay to be the button pusher.
I am too.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
No, we should totally do. We should get some of those shock collar things and put it on each other.
No.
and each of us have somebody else's button.
Nope.
We'd
I've been
sit there
shocked
for the
so
first
many times in my life.
The first 10 minutes of the podcast would be like, bzz, 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 bzz. Like, stop it, fucking stop it.
Yeah. Here's one that I think we could all agree is an egregious lie, is that mental illness isn't real and isn't a disability.
I've never actually heard anybody say that.
I've heard people say stuff like that.
Especially the part about it being a disability, right?
Everybody is a little bit like that.
I've heard people just say that somebody so and so should just buck up or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, well,
I mean, it's
I
in
think
the
they're
same
fucking
place,
sad as fuck,
right?
dude. Because
Mike, they may not say those words verbatim, but they say things
out
like
there.
they say things like, "Oh, everybody's a little bit like that.
Sure.
You're not special because it happens to you. Everybody. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and all that bullshit." And someone's trying to say, "Hey, this is something that happens to me. It's not an everyday. It's not like what happens to you. This is way worse." And they go, "No, everybody has that problem. I don't know what you're talking about."
What is it that makes us want to just automatically make it about ourselves?
Because
You know what I mean? It's like so and so's experience is not the same as my experience.
Yeah.
Why do I always feel
I don't
the
know.
need to go?
If you do it in the
so-and-so
right
has a
way-
headache, does their headache feel exactly the same as mine? No, because they're not fucking me.
Yeah.
And vice versa. It's like, why do humans do that?
I think in some instances you're trying to relate to the person, right? But if you do it just because you're trying to,
Gaslight them.
one-upmanship
Sure.
whatever.
one-upman. Yeah, there's like, "Oh, I don't have that problem." I don't know. I mean, I used to, when I lived at my uncle's house, my cousin would always say, "Well, that doesn't happen to me." He's like, "I'm also 15 years older than you, dude. Of course it's not going to happen to you yet.
Yeah.
Give yourself some time. It'll start happening."
And I mean, that's something I think we should be wary of and combat. It's just making everything about us when it's not necessarily about us, right?
Yeah.
And as Jamal always says, it's not about you.
Oh,
So yeah. See what I did there?
I mean, I've had ex-girlfriends and ex-wives, you come home and you tell them, I've had a shitty day, and you just kind of want to unload your shitty day, right? But they're like, "Oh, well, let me tell you, I had the shittiest day,"
It's a competition with them.
And that's why I'm leaving you.
I had a similar thing with my ex-girlfriend where I'm having a bad mental health day, and I'm just overwhelmed, and I'm trying to explain what's going on, and she's like, "Well, yeah, but," and then would unload whatever her issue was. It's like, this is not a competition.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that I have it worse than you. I'm just simply saying I'm having a bad fucking day. Why do you have to make this about you when I'm having a fucking issue here? Why don't you just say, "Oh man, that sucks," show some support,
Some kind of camaraderie and support,
or at least be like, "Oh man, I wish I could help you make it feel better," or whatever. Why does it have to be a competition? I'm not competing with you about how bad your day is. I'm just telling you how bad my day is. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. I've been there. And that's why, the wife comes home from work and she's got a way more stressful job than I do because she deals with so many different people on so many different levels every day. Me, I'm fucking at my desk and I maybe take 3 or 4 phone calls and have 10 emails that I got to answer and I'm working on.
Yeah, you have a podcast.
Yeah, and I've got a podcast I can, just empty all this shit out on. But she comes home from work and she's like, and all I can do is, okay, what's going on? And just kind of play along and listen to what's happening. And she just needs that 10 minutes to sort of unload the stuff that she's carrying in her brain. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, that seems a small price to pay to have her not smother you at night. Jeez.
And I'm waking her up as she's sleepwalking.
Yeah.
And she kills me.
So what this was at that time I had just lost I got fired from my job. I lost my apartment, and I was essentially living out of my car and then occasionally sleeping on her couch or whatever. Actually in her bed because we were together and whatnot. But I was just venting about not having my place and not having my job and everything else. And she's like, "Yeah, well, I have someone living in my house that I don't want living in my house." I'm like,
damn.
She meant you? Oh,
yeah,
no,
she meant me.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah,
what are you trying to tell me?
That should have been a gigantic red flag for me, but I was oblivious because I was in the moment having a crisis.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I remember there was a meme like at the beginning of COVID. There was like, but it might have been rent so high that people are staying in relationships they shouldn't be in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, this relationship died like a year and a half before COVID started. So.
All right. Well, I mean, we could also talk about the lie that corporate news always tells us the truth, which we know is not true.
Since the start of cable news, that has not been a thing.
Yeah.
Well, it never was.
No.
It never. There was yellow journalism and fucking muckraker dog shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's always been the case. But it's easier, and so we should be empowering the watchdogs now.
Yeah.
Right? It's much easier to have
it's all disinfotainment
watchdog systems. Yeah, exactly. To feed the cans, right?
Yeah.
And now we've got like Cambridge Analytical and all these pieces of shit motherfuckers who really do envision a fascist future who want to put us into these warring camps. Right?
Yeah.
When in reality we're all humans.
Mike's red line that you always talk about, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it works.
Yeah.
It works. Machiavelli talked about it 500 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like it's the same game plan. We got to quit falling for people because we do it every time. But I had one more that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, do it.
The biggest lie in my life, that Mikey likes it. Because I'm here to assure you.
He does not.
Mikey does not. Mikey does by no means like it.
Are you talking about the cereal or just life in general?
Yeah, it's all of it. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Be like Mike?
Wait a minute. How about the game of life, Mike?
You could be with the Pop-O-Matic. I do like the Pop-O-Matic.
Oh, that's trouble.
That's trouble.
No, then I've got
the game of life had that. The spinner.
The spinner and the little cars that you could drop.
What was that?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's all misleading.
I
don't trust my board
What is that
games.
game in Vegas that has the
roulette?
The roulette. It's basically a roulette wheel.
Sure.
Without the little ball.
Without the inherent corruption.
God damn, without the ball. Going back to the bowl again.
Sweaty balls.
I mean, any other lies that you guys remember?
Well, I mean, geez.
If she hits you, if they hit you, that means they like you.
Oh man, well.
Oh, when you're kids. Yeah. I have a thing for redheads. It's a well-known. I'm not ashamed of it.
Same.
I think I was like in first grade. This little redhead, and I don't remember her name. On the playground.
Ginger.
ran over, knocked me down, put her knees on my arms so I couldn't get up, and then smooched me.
Oh.
And I think that goes back.
I smell a lawsuit. We can track this woman down. You are entitled
That's
to
sexual
compensation,
harassment
my friend.
right there, Chuck.
Yeah, but I think that's my lifelong love of redheads.
That's where it started.
Where it started.
Oh, man, this is some deep shit. Now you have to send us money, people, because this is his therapy
I think my reasoning for loving redheads as much as I do is because I grew up in an Irish family, and every time we went to the Irish days at the Center House in Seattle Center, there was tons of Irish girls with flaming red hair.
Yeah.
Although that's it. Well, the funny thing about that is red hair is not a Irish thing. That is a Viking thing.
I think it's more German. I think the
Norse.
The majority of redheads in the world live in Germany, is my understanding.
All I know is that
But that could be a lie, too.
Well, and they also have a pretty large population.
Well,
I
heard that the red hair and the blonde hair comes from the Norse.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
And that's they probably landed in Germany quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
they probably intermingled a little bit here and there.
In pillage.
And the keggers. There's a lot of intermingling at the keggers.
I'm sure about
it. The amount of and I know I'm a wet blanket at parties because I say stupid shit like this, but the amount of chopping that humans used to do to each other was scandalous in scale. We are living in, and I obviously not worldwide, but these are still the most peaceful of times by far, right?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the value of human life is much greater today than it probably ever has been in history.
Yeah, because we've got the luxury to do so.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
comparatively to
times past.
We're better, but I think we still have a long way to go.
We're not even halfway to where we should be. But
I don't even know if we'll make it to halfway.
It was awful for a long time.
I'll continue to say this. I don't think we're ever going to see Roddenberry's future in my lifetime.
Well, if we don't in the next 50, we're not going to.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I'm not going to live in the next 50.
Well,
I'll be lucky if I'm living in the next 30.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah. Although, man, I don't know. I watched Fury Road, and it's awful.
Dude.
But
kind of fun.
Depending on who you are.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's like if you're waiting for the water to spill, right? What's he say? Do not become don't fall in love with the water or whatever. You will resent its absence and all this shit.
I haven't watched the new one for a while, but
it is.
My take from that is if I'm the humongous, then things are great. But if I'm the dude that tries to catch the boomerang, things maybe not so great.
I'm the guy who tries to catch the kid's boomerang and loses all 5 fingers.
And everybody laughs at him. Ha, 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 ha.
It's so much so that he starts laughing at him. So.
Oh, man, that's a dysfunctional family, bro. I hate to break it to
they
you.
put the fun in dysfunctional, Mike.
Yeah, they do.
Time,
Humongous and the Smeg Boys or whatever.
Big time. All right, well, how about something positive to end on, if that wasn't positive enough for you? I've got a couple of fun quotes that I found.
Well, I think one thing positive I can say is the other side of the battery.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. One side's positive, the other's negative.
And I downloaded an app because I do listen to a lot of theater style podcasts, right? And so this is Apollo is the podcast, so that's all that is. It's a fiction style podcast.
Fiction.
Yep. So.
From all different decades?
No, it's all modern stuff, and there's a lot of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuff people are
all
actually
those
producing
people who
today.
took classes to be voice actors, that's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing now. Yeah.
Nice.
Looking at you, Jim Miller's wife. She took classes.
Okay, well,
I don't know if she's doing that right now, but the quote I got is this is from Paulo Coelho. I don't know. He's a Brazilian writer.
Yeah, the
Was that?
Is he the alchemist or
the alchemist guy? Yeah, he's the alchemist guy. He said, "What is success? It is being able to go to bed each night with your soul at peace." Right? Because that's, I mean, if you can go and you can sleep good knowing your place in the world, then that's a successful person, I think.
Sounds great. Oh, yeah.
And then this one, it wasn't attributed to anybody, but it was just on the internets, is I owe myself the biggest apology for putting up with what I didn't deserve. I owe myself the biggest apology for putting up with what I didn't deserve.
Please.
So stop putting yourself through shit that you don't deserve.
Easier said than done, Chuck.
Yeah, I didn't say it wouldn't be work.
Yeah, but recognizing it's the first step, right?
You know,
and knowing that
working towards it is probably the best thing I can say. Is work towards that. Whether or not you actually achieve it is really up to you. You know.
Yeah. And like you said, Todd, I mean, go ahead and cut family loose if they're toxic, cut friends loose, cut jobs loose. I mean, you've got this short time on this, blue ball that we're floating around space in. And
don't you mean disc?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe everything I read.
Oh, man.
Anybody else got anything? Man, we cut it right down to that 90 minute. Look at us. We are pretty
We didn't
good.
go over anything.
Yeah.
And here I thought we were going to go way over because there's like 150 different things here.
I knew it wouldn't take that long. It just is what it is. All right. Well, for Our Town Podcast and for episode 24, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
As Mike mentioned earlier, maybe Todd mentioned earlier, go to r-townpodcast.com and friggin' subscribe, you lazy cheap bastards.
Also, if you haven't already, go find us on social media. Our Town Pod is the username on all the socials.
Yeah. And we did start announcing a big show that we have coming up right here at the Renton Civic Theater in beautiful downtown Renton. We've got the Gong Show that Our Town is presenting, and it's going to be a night filled with fun,
laughter, prizes,
talent, prizes, trophies.
I think 4.5 guffaws.
I need to confirm with somebody, but we may have our own version of the Unknown comic too, which is really
fantastic.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, there's.
I hope he does do it, and if he does the show, I hope he does with the bag on his head to be amazing.
We've got comedians, we've got dancers, we've got
ukulele players.
We've got a nice young lady that's going to lay down on a bed of nails and have people stand on them. I mean, it's going to be a fun. We've got comedians as judges, and we've got a friggin' gong. So if somebody does,
and the Hayfields,
and
like a real live rock and roll band, who are actually a really good band.
Yeah.
I mean, the $10 that we're asking at the door, that's a Hayfield show by itself. No problem.
Yeah,
all day.
Yeah, I agree.
The Gong Show is a bonus.
Yeah,
is what that is.
Check it out. Email us, call us, whatever you want to do. If you need more information, go to the Facebooks. We've got an event post on there. You can check it out. But reach out to us and we'll tell you all about it. If you want to be a person that wants to display some talent, definitely reach out and we'll get you on the show.
First of multiple, right? So
I hope so.
Our
try to get on our waiting list for the talent.
ourtownpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Jeez,
do it.
Yeah.
Do it. All right, guys. Thank you. It's been a good week.
It's been a great week. Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, blogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.